Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to discuss FAR320 Common Test October 2019 Question 2. Okay, for the first question, briefly explain the criteria of identifiability according to MFRS 138 intangible asset. So for this question, the criteria of identifiability, there are only two of them, which is the first one, an intangible asset is identifiable when it is separable. It means that this intangible asset it's capable of being separate and sold, including transferred, licensed, rented or exchanged either individually or together with a related contract. And the second one is arise from contractual or legal rights, regardless of whether those rights are transferable or separable from reality or from other rights and obligation. So, for this question, the criteria of identifiability, there is only two of them, so you have to memorize these two things. Yes, even the question asks us just give us the 2 marks, you still need to explain every single thing that for the identifiable of intangible asset. Okay, so for the question B1, I'm going to read the situation for this to find the answer for this. So listen. Labu Sayung Berhad operates a chain of traditional homestays in Negeri Sembilan. So the company decided to promote aggressively its homestay chains to local and international tourists by emphasizing on an exclusive and modern design wood of traditional Malay house. So nothing you can get from that. On 1st January 2016, okay, this is the first year, the started year for this kind of business. So it acquired a corporate customer list. Okay, corporate customer list. The customer list is our intangible asset for this. From Zest Database Corporation for 250,000 ringgit. Okay, 250,000 ringgit is our initial cost, our cost of a customer list, our intangible asset, and is estimated to be valid for 5 years due to frequent revision of new customer in the tourism industry. So estimated to be valid for 5 years is our keyword to find this to find the answer. Okay, our keyword, because you can see that it said is estimated to be valid for 5 years. So this intangible asset, this customer list, it has definite useful life or finite useful life. So you have to amortize this intangible asset. If the question that tell us this intangible asset has the indefinite, you cannot amortize it, because when it comes to the amortization, you need to find the intangible asset useful life, whether it's definite or indefinite. When it comes to definite, you have to amortize, but when it comes to indefinite, you cannot amortize it. So this question said this intangible asset customer list is definite useful life, so you have to amortize it. You must amortize it. So let's get back to the situation. On 31st December 2018, okay, from the 1st January 2016, first year, 2017, second year, and on 31st December 2018, this is from the question, it's a third year. The fair value of the customer list was 80,000 ringgit, and intangible asset is measured using revaluation model. Okay, so the total year that we can see from the situation, there is only 3 years. Okay, so okay, B1, explain the accounting treatment for the customer list on the year ended 31st December 2018. So when it comes to the accounting treatment, what do you need to implement for this answer? You have to implement these 3 things. First, initial recognition. Second, measurement. And the third one is subsequent measurement. Okay, so these 3 things that you need to implement every time when you want to find the answer for the accounting treatment. So okay, the answer is the acquired customer list is recognized as intangible asset at cost of 250,000 ringgit. Okay, so this sentence here is the initial recognition. Okay, the first thing that you need to implement. And then, since the customer list has definite life of 5 years, the amortization is provided. Okay, so as you guys can see, when it comes to the amortization, you need to look at the useful life of the intangible asset, whether it's definite or indefinite. So this question said the intangible asset, our customer list, has definite life, so you have to amortize it. So for the 5 years, so the on 1st January 2018, carrying amount of customer list is 150,000 ringgit. So how do you actually get this 150,000 ringgit? Okay, when you look at the carrying amount of the customer list, so the formula that you need to use is the initial cost, 250,000 ringgit. You have to minus with the accumulated amortization for 2 years. Okay, how do you get the amortization? First, you need to, the initial cost 250,000 ringgit from the 2016, you have to divide with 5 years. It's the definite life, I mean like the useful life for the intangible asset. You have to divide with 5 years and you get 50,000 ringgit for 1 year amortization. So as you guys can see that this customer list acquired on 2016, so 2017 it's become 2 years, and on 1st January 2018, it's not considered as the 3rd year, it's still considered as the 2 years. So 50,000 ringgit for 1 year, you have to multiply with 2 years, so you will get 100,000 ringgit. So 250,000 ringgit, the initial cost, you minus with the accumulated amortization, 100,000 ringgit, the total 100,000 ringgit, so you will get 150,000 ringgit for the carrying amount. The cost minus with the accumulated amortization to find the carrying amount. Okay, so for the year ended 31st December 2018, so this one, when it said 31st December 2018, it become the 3rd year. So amortization for the year is 50,000 ringgit. So how do you get the amortization for the year? The formula is 250,000 ringgit, you divide it with 5 years. Like I told you just now, 250,000 is the cost, you divide it with the useful life for 5 years, and you get amortization for 1 year. Okay, recognized in SOPL, so that's how you get it. And then accumulated amortization as at 31st December 2018 is 150,000 ringgit. So how do you get this 150,000 ringgit? So if you want to find the accumulated amortization, you need to initial cost divided with useful life, 250,000 ringgit, divided with 5 years, you get 50,000 ringgit for 1 year. So you have to multiply with 3 years, because it said the accumulated amortization as at 31st December 2018. So 31st December 2018 is a complete year, so it can consider as the 3rd year. So you have to multiply with 3 years, and you will get 150,000 ringgit for the accumulated amortization for 3 years, 2016, 2017 and 2018. So the carrying amount of the customer list is 100,000 ringgit. So how do you actually get this carrying amount of the customer list? First, the initial cost. Okay, the initial cost 250,000 ringgit that's stated from the question on 2016. You have to minus with the total, with the accumulated amortization for 3 years. Okay, so you have to minus with the accumulated amortization for 3 years. So the total is 150,000. So 250,000 initial cost minus with accumulated amortization for 3 years, 150,000, and you get 100,000 ringgit for the carrying amount of the customer list. Okay, since the company adopts the revaluation model, the fair value of 80,000 ringgit is compared to the carrying amount of 100,000 ringgit, which result in a revaluation deficit of 2,000 ringgit. Okay, so for this answer, stated on the question that the revaluation model on 31st December 2018 is 80,000 ringgit, the fair value. But when we calculate the carrying amount, we got like 100,000 ringgit. So from that we can see that there is the there is a deficit. It's mean that the question stated 80,000 ringgit, but when we calculate, we got 100,000 ringgit. So we can see that the carry amount that we calculate is higher than the fair value that stated on the question. So we can see that this result is a revaluation deficit of 2,000 ringgit. 100,000 ringgit, the carry amount that we calculate, minus with 80,000 ringgit, the fair value that stated on the question. So it's a 2,000 ringgit for the revaluation deficit of a revaluation deficit, and it's charged as expense in SOPO. Okay, so that's how you get the answer for the accounting treatment. What you need to do is the initial recognition, measurement, and the subsequent measurement. These three things that you need to implement to find the accounting treatment. Okay, so for the question B2, let me read the question first. Show the journal entries to record the transaction for the year ended 31st December 2018. Okay, so for the year ended 31st December 2018. Okay, for the journal entry, we must start with the revaluation deficit, the result for the fair value. So the answer for the journal entry for the first one, debit revaluation deficit SOPO 2,000 ringgit, and the credit customer list intangible asset is 2,000 ringgit. So you have to make sure that the credit customer list, the figure you must take it from the debit revaluation deficit, you have to make sure it's same. So don't put the different figure because it's obviously wrong. Okay, so the second one, debit accumulated amortization 150,000 ringgit. Okay, so it's a 3 years, 2016, 2017, and 2018. The total accumulated amortization for 3 years is 150,000 ringgit. How you get it? Like 50,000 ringgit for the amortization for 1 year, you multiply with 3 years, so you get 150,000 ringgit. So the journal entry for the second, debit accumulated amortization 150,000 ringgit, and the credit customer list 150,000 ringgit. Okay, so it's a same amount. Don't put the different figure. Don't put the different figure. So the third, the last one, the journal entry for the last one, debit SOPO amortization 50,000 ringgit. So this amortization for 1 year. The credit accumulated amortization 50,000 ringgit. Okay, so even it say the accumulated amortization, but you still need to put the figure from the debit SOPO. Make sure it's the same amount. Okay. Okay, for the question 2C, let me read the situation first. On 1st January 2018, okay, this is the first year, Aman Berhad acquired a franchise for 5,500,000 ringgit. Okay, so the initial cost for the franchise. So it has a legal life of 5 years and renewable at the end of every 5 years. And the company intends to renew it indefinitely. So indefinitely is our keyword to find the answer for this. So when it comes to indefinitely, it's mean this intangible asset, the franchise, has indefinite useful life. So when it comes to indefinite useful life, you cannot amortize this intangible asset because it's indefinite, so you cannot amortize. When it comes to definite useful life, you can amortize it, but if it is indefinite, you cannot amortize it. So let's get back to the situation. The fair value less cost to sell as at 31st December 2018 was 4,800,000 ringgit. So from this situation, there is only 1 year. There's only 1 year for this situation, for this franchise. So the answer, let me read the question. Explain the accounting treatment for the franchise for the year ended 31st December 2018. Okay, so for this one, as you can see, that you need to implement the initial recognition and the measurement, and also the subsequent measurement. It is because the intangible asset has the indefinite useful life. So the answer, the franchise has an indefinite useful life. So it should not be amortized. Okay, but tested for the impairment annually and whether there is an indication that the franchise is impaired. So that's the rule for the indefinite useful life. To find the accounting treatment, you have to memorize the sentence. So and then since the fair value less cost to set at as at 31st December 2018 is 4,800,000, which is lower than the carrying amount. So there is an impairment loss of 700,000 ringgit. So how do you actually get the 700,000 ringgit? The 700,000 ringgit, you will get it from the 5,500,000 ringgit, the initial cost from the franchise for the 1st January 2018. You have to minus with the fair value at the end of the 31st December 2018. You have to minus with that amount and you will get 700,000 ringgit. So that's how you find the accounting treatment answer for the intangible as has the indefinite useful life. So that's how you get it from that. Okay, so thank you for listening. Hope you guys enjoy.